G'day everyone, Prep Aussie here. I hope you're all well in whatever part of the world you're watching this video. Today is Saturday, the 17th of July 2021, and the time here is 09:30 Australian Eastern Standard Time. Well folks, plenty to go into. Let's get into it. Here's my sponsor, Totally Rawsome, who make golden activated turmeric paste and other items for you. If you have not tried golden activated turmeric paste, you are missing out. If you have joint pain, inflammation, or you just want to generally feel better, excuse me, having a cup of tea, try this stuff, folks. Everybody that I've recommended it to loves it. They also make turmeric paste for dogs. My dog Woody takes it and he is massively improved. Here's their contact details: 0488 165 848 or info@totallyrawsome.com.au. Okay, so if you remember in my last video, I got to apologize actually for my last video. I was doing a lot of snorting and bloody gasping and carrying on. This time of the year, because I used to be an ex-boxer and kickboxer and stuff, my nose is pretty banged up. I've had operations on it, etc. It gets kind of a little bit blocked up this time of year, and I hadn't been taking any of my puffer stuff, not asthma stuff, just nasal spray, so I was a little bit gunky. I feel better today, sound better. So look, I'm sorry about that. Look, there is so much going on that it's almost incredible to try and keep up with it. Drinking a cup of tea. Forget about watching mainstream media because it's actually useless. Although, and here we go, here's one of the big things that came out of this week. ScoMo, the Australian Prime Minister, had a press conference 2 days ago. At that press conference, a reporter, finally, somebody had the balls to stand up and say exactly what should have been said, because we're going into lockdowns again, etc. One of them stood up and said, "Prime Minister, do you think we are now at the time where we say, you know, people are just going to get it and people are going to die from it?" This is what the reporter said, not the Prime Minister. And he asked him, are we at that time where, you know, because we can't keep doing this to the economy and we can't keep locking stuff down. Now, here's what the Prime Minister said back. Not until we have like 3/4 of the country vaccinated. Now remember, even if you're vaccinated, you still get COVID. There's no what's the name, you still get COVID and you can still die from COVID, even if you've been vaccinated. Don't tell you that part, do they? So either A, now there is a little bit more, but going on that bit, either A, the vaccine is shit, or B, your antibodies, your natural antibodies cannot, and I haven't heard anybody say this, cannot fight off COVID, but you need to have the vaccine with the COVID, with the COVID antibodies. Now, if that's true, if that is actually true, then that would mean that this is a man-made virus, because your body has a natural resistance to stuff. Nobody has said that yet, but if that's the case, then someone needs to point a finger at somebody and say, this is a biological weapon. Simple as that. Second to that, now just remember the reporter said, are we at the stage of actually just saying to people, standing up in front of the Australian public and saying, look, we can't keep doing this. People are going to get it and people are going to die. So what do we say? What happens? And the next thing the Prime Minister said was, not everyone will get the vaccine. So basically they're prepared to give everyone the vaccine. The rest that don't want the vaccine, if they die, then we're at better odds. Basically, that's what he said. For those people who don't want to get the vaccine, then they'll be on their own. Now, we have a population of 25 million here in Australia, 24, 25, whatever it is, I don't know. If you use the law of averages, it's thirds, I guess. A third are going to get it, the vaccine. A third are going to be hesitant about the vaccine, and a third are just not going to get it no matter what. So these ads that the government's got going, they're for the third who are hesitant. They're not for the third that they know the government, no matter what you put on TV, no matter what you say, they're not going to take the vaccine. And I'm not anti-vax, don't get me wrong. I won't take it because I just don't think there's been enough studies on it. Simple as that. And you would have to have 5 years of studies on it for me to take it. And my backup for that is that the majority of people who've had the vaccine still get the virus. And in England, there's people going to hospital in critical condition, even though they've had the vaccine. And that's a fact. And in America. So watch this space, I guess. Now, I don't want to spend too much time on the vaccines because it's boring. It is actually boring. You know, I think what needs to be said is, where did the vaccine come from? Why did the vaccine come from? How and why? That's all I want to know. Simple as that. So until they do that and they start down that road, I'm not interested. All this other stuff about taking the vaccine, not taking the vaccine, wearing masks, I don't give a shit. I actually don't give a fat rat's ass about any of that because it doesn't affect my life at all at the moment. If and when the government says you got to take this vaccine and they start stormtroopering people, that's when I'm going to get involved. And, you know, if they start saying, you know, the kids have got to take it when there's no need for kids to take it. One thing I would like to know, excuse me, is whether I'd actually like to go around and do testing on, see how many people have the antibodies, not the virus. How many people in the society have the antibodies? So the government turns around and says, everyone has to go down and have a blood test. Sweet. Go down, have a blood test. Have you got the COVID antibodies? That's what I want to know. Not if you've got the virus, because it doesn't matter jack shit if you've got the virus. Does it? Let's be honest. Because everybody's going to get the virus. There's nothing you can do about it. Unless you're lone wolf living out in the bloody back of scrub somewhere, then maybe perhaps you'll never get it if you're living on your own in the middle of the scrub. But even then, I don't think so. Eventually you'll get, you know, 95% of the population have got it. So here's one interesting fact that you Americans probably don't know. Hang on. Finish my cup of tea. 2/3 of the Australian population live on the coastline, east and then west, although Perth's population lives, you know, basically in Perth in Western Australia. You know, there's some people down south, etc., but they're still on the coastline. Up north, it's desert country. You know, there's hardly anybody lives there. And then you've got Adelaide, which is right at the bottom, and Melbourne, which is right at the bottom, but on the left, same eastern seaboard, Adelaide's the only isolated city that's at the bottom of the country, out in the middle of nowhere, except for Western Australia, which is on the west coast of Australia. So 2/3, so the rest of the country, you look at a map of Australia, 2/3 of it is pretty well inhospitable country. You can't live in it. Not many people realise that. You can live in it if you want to, but it's a harsh life. And let's be honest, why do you want to live out there if you don't have to? So you're going to look at a 95% infection rate in Australia. 95%. Australia's probably going to be one of the few countries in the world where we are all actually going to get this virus. You know, apart from these little countries like Singapore, etc., etc., because although we don't live like like you guys cheek to jowl, we're pretty spread out. So, but even then, you're not going to stop it. You're just not going to stop it, and that's proven. You know. So what I would like to know is, forget about the COVID, right? Stop focusing on the COVID. Find out how many people have the antibodies, because I could just about guarantee you there's people in the community, I might be one of them, who had COVID, don't know it, sick as a dog, thought they had the flu, and then came out the other side and they're okay. And here's an interesting fact. My wife went to Bali when everyone was dropping like flies in Bali in 2020, in January 2020, February. She came back, I got so sick, I've never been that sick in my life, I was actually puking up green bile. Did I have COVID? I don't know. No one ever tested me for it. Back then, I actually had to go to hospital. I had a body temperature of, I don't know, something ridiculous, 42 degrees or something. I was literally baking in my own body. So I had to go to hospital. Went to hospital and I said to them, oh, my wife's got back from Bali. They went, no, you'll be all right, mate. We haven't got COVID in the country yet anyway, so it doesn't matter. Did I have it? I don't know. Be interesting to find out how many people have got the antibodies. How about we do that? Because then you could find out how many people actually, what our herd immunity is. That just makes common sense. If you had any other flu vaccine, flu virus, that's what they would do. Find out how many people have the antibodies. But no, we're going to go and jab shit in people's arms because they haven't had it yet. And even though you've got the shot in your arm, you're still going to get it. My son's in England. He had the jab. 2 days later, he got COVID. And that is a corresponding trend, by the way, right through this. You get the jab, some miraculous reason you get COVID straight after it. And can I just say to you, he's a really fit 30-year-old and it nearly killed him. He said, I felt like death. So, you know, wasting their time, wasting our time, wasting everybody's time. And I may get COVID. I will get COVID at some stage if I haven't already have it. But I'm still not sticking that thing in my arm because I don't know what it is. And on the meds that I'm on, no thanks. So there you go. Okay. One of the things I wanted to talk to you guys about, and this is kind of important. Excuse me. Even my wife's noticing it now. If you haven't noticed it, then you need to start noticing it. Is going to the shops and there's certain things that aren't there anymore. And if they are there, then they're extremely expensive. Now, if you remember, and look, I'm not going to show you actually I will, hang on a second. Okay, this is the US debt clock, national debt. Look up on the top left here, 28 trillion. 28 trillion. Go down here a little bit. Debt to GDP, 128.25. Anything over 50 is bad. Look, in 2000 it was 57. 2000. In 20 years it's gone up that much. Right. US total debt, unfunded debt interest. Look at this stuff. US total debt, 85 trillion. Look, I can spend an hour on this thing, but I'm not going to. One other interesting fact, this one here. US debt, I don't know why that's come up. US, where is it? It's gone, sorry, hang on a sec. There it is. Trade balance, US debt held by foreign countries, 7 trillion. So that debt is on top of the other debt, folks. Hyperinflation is literally starting, well, it hasn't started, is now full on in America. These guys are actually printing money 24/7 to keep up. Now that 28 trillion that I showed you there is not the real figure. They haven't updated it for ages correctly, and they're not going to. When Trump came into power, it was 20. It went up 8 trillion in 4 years. When Trump came into power, it was 20. Now, I've said this before, and you need to understand this. If you put all of the companies in the world, the richest, what do they call them, S&P 500 companies, the richest ones, not all of them, all the billionaires in the world, you would not get to $1 trillion. You may, but it'll be a push to get there. Think about that. So all these rich people that are, siphoning off the 1% of us, you cannot get all of them together and make $1 trillion. And the current debt is 85 trillion, the total debt, including everything. Chuck everything in, not just the national debt, everything. $85 trillion. So at some stage, and people have warned you, and I've warned you, and everybody's warned you who knows anything about this, has told you what will happen is that two things. One, you will get stagflation, which has already happened because of COVID. So everything stopped. Then what happens is you get hyperinflation. Everything just takes off. Petrol prices, food prices, car prices, everything. But your wages don't go up because of it. They stay the same. So you can't spend enough. So then you go into stagflation again, but this time it's terminal because hyperinflation is taking off. You can't spend anything. You actually stop spending because you're scared. You only get the necessities, and then you go into stagflation. Then what happens is the bond market starts to take off because there's no money in interest rates. The companies aren't making any money. But I see a different scenario playing out here at the moment. And Bitcoin is taking off. So these guys are actually putting their money in Bitcoin at the moment instead of the bond market. But that'll finish one day soon, whoever decides to cut Bitcoin off. Then it's going to be a shit fight, folks. And I've been saying this for years. They've kicked the can down the road. Everything is now coming to fruition as everybody says it would. Whether it takes, I don't know, another 5 trillion on the national debt to kick it down the road just a little bit more, another 6 months. It could even be that China turns around tomorrow and says, we're not buying any more of your debt. Japan turns around and says, we're not buying any more of your debt. Somebody, and they can't sell the US Treasuries. What the US Treasury then has to do, and this happened the last time they had a sale, by the way, of their bonds. The US Treasury had to buy the majority of the bonds, which is illegal, by the way. They're not supposed to do that. Anyway, that's a whole another matter. So the US Treasury is now pretty well holding a bulk of the bloody bonds, their overseas bonds. To do that, they have to print money to pay back the debt, because there's an interest rate accumulation on that debt as well. Christ knows what it is at the moment. It must be massive. But then they also have to start keep printing money to pay the debt that they've already got. Do you understand? So they're actually 24/7 printing money to keep this thing going alive. And it is going, when it pops, it's not going to pop. It's going to blow half the planet up. That's how big this is. So I've said this before, and I was going to say it again. Go down now while you can and go and buy those kidney beans and those chickpeas and that corn, flour, whatever you can get your hands on, and is going to keep you going for at least 3 months. 3 months. If you can go for 6, get 6. If you can buy Patriot supplies, the food things, if you want to go and spend your money on that instead of going, go for it. Get 6 months of it. If you want to lash out on your credit card, go for it. But don't just sit there on your ass and think that things are okay. They're not. Make sure your car's fully serviced. Your tyres are okay. You've got petrol. You've got petrol in storage, diesel in storage. This is all important stuff, folks. Are your teeth okay? I went and got I had a crack in one of my teeth. Man, I didn't even think twice. I just went and got it crowned. Yeah, it cost $800. I couldn't really afford it. But my wife got one done and I got one done. Because the last thing I want to do on the other side of this, whenever this happens, is bite into something and I'll lose half my tooth and I'm in extreme pain and I have to take out a small mortgage to get my teeth done. It's all the simple things, folks. Next week I'm going to my doctor to go and to get a thing for a specialist to go and get my heart checked out to see if I've got any plaque that needs to be removed from my arteries or anything like that. Yeah, it might cost me $500. I think it's going to cost me $500 for my specialist thing, my top up. I don't care, because I'm not going to go through all this and then go through the other side and drop dead in the hallway because I had plaque in my arteries. Does this all make sense? It makes sense to me. And I understand some of you cannot afford to do this. But if you plan on being a leader of your family and everything else on the other side of this, you need to be A, fit, 2, healthy, 3, cognitive. Okay, so don't just laugh this off and say, oh, prep's a madman, blah, blah, blah. These are the things you've got to do. We're even going to put new solar on our roof and get a battery. And I'm looking at getting a generator. All the small things, folks. Start on the small things. They're the most important things. Don't worry about what your lawn looks like. Start growing food in it. If you have to mow it, it's not making you money and it's not saving your life. Ask a farmer what grass is. And his reply is something for the cows to eat. That's typical Jackaroo 101. If you know a farmer, ask him, he'll tell you the same thing. Grass is something cows eat, and it's the truth. Most pointless exercise in humanity is mowing grass. It's dumb and stupid. All right, look, I've had enough rant. I think I've made the point. There's a saying that we used to use in footy. Keep it simple, stupid. And I'm pretty stupid, so I'm going to keep it really simple. Keep it simple, stupid. Title of this video. Right, let's do the prayers. Okay, verse of the day. For in Christ all the fullness of the deity lives in bodily form, and in Christ you have been brought to fullness. He is the head over every power and authority. Something to remember. And as always, folks, we'll finish with the Lord's Prayer. Listen to the words. If you're not religious like me, just listen to the words. They do mean a lot. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power and the glory forever and ever. Amen. All right, I'm going to leave it there. I'm just going to say one final thing which needs to be said. If any of you, and look, if you're watching this, I don't think you will be, but if at any stage, any of you in Australia, or anywhere actually, think from this time going forward, the government is going to help you out, then you are sadly deluded in any form. Sadly deluded. So I would say to you, think about that, just one simple fact. For all their rhetoric of we're here to help you, we're going to do this for you, we're going to do that for you. No, they're not. They know what's coming. They know that this is all going to hit, the shit's going to hit the fan. This is all manipulated, folks. If you don't think so, you're crazy. Anyway, God bless, prep out.